This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the TMNT Ultimates Mutagen Man from Super7. Now, take a look at the front. We can see that the figure is showcased in that standard green box for all the heroes, as well as that really cool sewer lid cover with an image of Mutagen Man. Removing the slipcover, we can see that the figure is showcased in your standard window box packaging. Turning the box around, we can see that really cool same green brick-like motif with the turtle shell spray painted on top, as well as a short bio for Mutagen Man. So if you want to read that bio, go ahead and pause it now. So with the box out of the way, let's crack this figure open and let him breathe. Alright guys, so let's check out Mutagen Man. Now, I was really happy with Leonardo again. That's my favorite Ninja Turtle, and I was really excited to get him in this wave, and I was so stoked about it. But I think Mutagen Man here was the one I was anticipating the most, and I think Mutagen Man is a fan favorite amongst fans. He just had such a unique look, as you can tell here. And my god, this updated version from Super 7 is freaking mind-blowingly good. So I love the detail we get here. I'm going to try and see if I can zoom in right here so we see the inner workings of the face, that skull with the eyes bugging out, the brain, you can see like the lungs in there and things like that, and kidney in the stomach, and the intestines and things like that. But I love, you can actually tell inside there's actually like a purple wash on the organs, so I think it's really nice. So that brings up the detail in there, which is really freaking awesome, man. All the hosing looks really good too. What I do like is the little color breakups. So if you look at like this color purple here, you'll see like a little more metallic purple on the little like studs right there, on the pipe connectors and things like that. Same thing on the belt, how those are a little more metallic silver than just a flat purple all around, so I dig that a lot. The muscle structure looks really good. Again, he always had this really weird look, like his flesh was melting off. Such a gnarly toy back in the day. But I also love how this metallic blue works throughout the figure, looking really nice too, in combination with this more flat blue, which is really cool. The back here with that backpack, and you can see more of those metallic purple studs. Same thing with the yellow here, you got those more gold touches like that just to bring it out a little more, just to differentiate the color, which I think looks awesome. But everything about these legs looks insane. I love the way this looks, man. The colors are just so unique, such a different character. He had the clawed feet on the one side and the more mechanical robot boot on the other. Well, you can see in those like more silver studs, or more metallic studs against this flat blue, which looks really nice. This bright neon pink looking rad. I just love the way this guy looks, man. As soon as I pulled him out of the package, I was just super impressed the way this looks. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to bring in my vintage Mutagen Man here, and there's of course going to be a size difference, but you see how they just took that vintage figure and really updated him. So instead of just like the flat straight up blue that we got all over the different blues, again you get the more metallic blue for this newer one. Same thing with the boots and the feet. I just love the way that looks. I actually really do dig this darker purple that they use, slightly darker than the vintage figure here. And I'll turn this around like so. And again, see how this yellow pack right here is just straight up yellow. Now you get the little gold touches right there to just up it a little more. So I love the way that looks, man. Very cool looking update. I just think it's so freaking awesome, man. So I love this a lot. He's just such a great looking piece. Now let's move on to the accessories here. So we don't get a whole ton of this guy, and I'm noticing with the larger figures, they do seem to come with less accessories. So I don't know, I'm guessing that's a money thing. They're just trying to balance it out, which I'm cool with. I'm totally okay with that. So we do got interchangeable hands. You got close fisted hands, one for each side, which is really nice. I love that. And then you get one gripping hand, one for each side too. And I love the scarring on that side like that, which is really nice. So I love that too. And there's actually a little bit of an airbrushing in some of the muscle structure here, which really was really nice. I kind of wish it was a little bit more of a wash in the more musculature area, but it's kind of nitpicky at this point. What's also really awesome is that we get his crazy blaster. This thing was so interesting and so unique back in the day. Just such a weird looking gun, but this time it has a little updated gold, little accents and things like that, so I think that's really cool, man. I love the way this turned out. Now bringing the vintage gun here, you can see obviously the size difference is insane, but pretty accurate to that vintage figure. Again, I love the fact that we get those little gold accents now to really just make it pop a little more, and that's all I really need, but that's still very cool to see. And you can get it in his gripping hand, either of the gripping hands, I should say, fairly easily. The hands are pliable enough to get it in there like that, and he gets a nice tight grip on that, and that just completes the look for Mutagen Man as far as I'm concerned. So the other things that we do get, if you remember in the vintage figure, we got all these little mini pieces that you could put inside his body. So we got things like, it looks like a little eyeball, a little fish right there, a wrench, a bone, looks like a slice of pizza with a bite taken out of it, and like apple core, and a little mini turtle, fully painted, well not fully painted, but you know, painted enough, more so than the original ones were. So I think that's pretty awesome, man. But we also do get a little tree here if you want to go with a more vintage style, done in that casted in yellow plastic. So you can cut those off if you want to do more vintage style. Totally understand. But I love the whole trimming of this too, to make it look like piping and things like that. So this looks really awesome, man. I love how this looks. But maybe like some of you, I'm going to keep these on this little tree right here, this little rack, and display them just like so, because I think it's awesome. Now, what you can do, just like the vintage figure, you can actually pop this part off right here. Just give it a little tug, wiggle it, don't want to break anything, so just be very careful. You can pop off that piece, and then you could drop all the little pieces in there and fill this whole thing up with water if you want to do so. So that's pretty cool. Or if you just want to store all these little things in there, you can just pop them all in there, and then there you go. You have your storage for all those little extra pieces, which is where they're pretty much supposed to go anyway, so that's pretty cool. So I love that added feature. Okay, so now let's run down his articulation. So you're not going to get any head movement, which is understandable, as well as no torso movement, again, which is understandable. You can full 360 at the arms. They do go up and out like that, so that's really nice. We can rotate at the elbow, as well as a bend at the elbow. I wish there was a little more bend there, but I get it. The sculpt is going to hinder that, and you can't do a whole lot. So that's kind of a minor nitpick. We also get rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. The legs can move forwards, like so, back that much. This splits all the way out that far, so that's pretty nice. We can single bend at the knees, so that's pretty good, as well as rotate at the knee. Then the ankles go up, you can go down, and then we get a really good ankle rockers. So overall, I'm so freaking impressed, man. I really, really am. Are these figures perfect? By no means, they're not perfect. I think I wish I would have had just tweaked a little things here and there. Like, wish articulation could be a little bit better. Not much, but a little bit better. And I would have added just a tad more wash in certain areas, but that's just minor nitpicking. I still think these guys are insanely cool toys. So much fun. And if you love those vintage figures like I do, especially that vintage Mutagen Man, this guy is insanely cool. Such a rad figure, and in my opinion, absolutely a must get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and McFarlane Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to the vintage Mutagen Man from Playmates. And for even more comparison, here he is standing next to the Ultimates Raphael and Baxter Stockman, also from Super7. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Ultimates Mutagen Man. Now, I'm sure like a lot of you, that vintage toy was one of your favorites, as it was one of mine. So this Super 7 update, freaking incredible. I love the size. I love how Super 7 is actually scaling all these figures. Unlike the vintage line where everything was pretty much the same size, we got variations in size for these, which is freaking awesome. The sculpt is so badass. That vintage Toyland was so ahead of its time as far as sculpt goes. So it's really cool seeing all that updated with much better paint. I love the metallic paints that we're getting, the color differentiation, everything about the detail is so awesome to me. Now I guess my biggest complaint would be the articulation, which could be a little bit better, but I sometimes understand that you can't always give it everything for the design of the character, so I totally get that. But still, he is such a badass and impressive piece, such a unique looking character, and I am so happy to add him to the TMNT shelf. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.